Hey, it's Dr. Bob with New Life Counseling Center, and very often people ask me for good books to read because people's healing doesn't happen 1 hour a week. People's healing doesn't happen 1 hour a week. It happens in the course of your life, every day, every hour, every minute, every moment. And I'm happy to recommend a book written by Viola called Pagan Christianity. And this one will slaughter all your sacred cows. People resist this message, but the message is true. I'll tell you, it took me 3 different attempts to read this book because I started reading it and I got so angry I threw it across the room. Months later, I went over, picked it up, tried again. It made me so mad I threw it across the room. It took, on the 3rd try, I had to admit that what I was reading was true. It's co-written by Barna, and I personally despise Barna because every time Barna ever says anything, it makes me angry because the truth makes me angry. Barna is a researcher, Barna is a historian, and in this book, Pagan Christianity, they take it a chapter at a time, an issue at a time, and they describe what happened 2,000 years ago when God created the New Testament church. And then year by year, they talk about how the church developed, how it grew and morphed into what we know today. I think if there was a time machine and we could go back, let's say 1900 years, I don't think we would recognize the church. And if we brought somebody here, I don't think they would recognize the church. It has changed so much. Chapter by chapter, Barna reveals the history, names, dates, where every change occurred to the original church. And then, of course, Viola interprets the facts. So the 2 parts. There's the facts. You simply can't argue against the history and the facts. Facts are so stubborn. You can, however, fight as much as you want against the interpretation about how you apply those facts. Enjoy the struggle. I would be so delighted to hear stories about people who have gone through changes in your life in terms of perhaps how you grew up, what kind of a church you grew up in, if you grew up in a church, or what kind of a spiritual tradition that you grew up in. Have you grown? Have you changed? Have you learned? There's an old joke that says most people, when they come to faith in Christ, learn everything that they ever know in the first 3 months and spend the rest of their life defending it. That is absolute foolishness. It's so foolish we can laugh about it, right? So don't let that be you. Don't fear the truth. Seek the truth because Jesus is the truth. Tell us about your experiences in the comments below.